he had everything as far as the material things. He had money he was trying to provide. And I'm sure if he would have met the right woman back then, he would have been able to afford everything that she wanted to have. But he wasn't street enough. He wasn't hood enough. He was not swag enough, which is really making a lot of women miss good men because these men are just too good. How they say too good to be true, but then again, too good for them to actually deal with these men. So what happens is these women in their mid-20s, they're going to go ahead, waste their youth, waste their time with men who are up to no good, end up with a couple of babies from different baby daddies. And as they're getting older, they're going to realize that it's time for them to actually find a man who's willing to take care of them and their children. But most of the time, those men that they didn't want back in the days now end up with women who do not look like them.
Only problem is I wasn't hip hop. I wasn't, I didn't have that swag. I was a working man. All right. I had a white collar job, so to speak. And I had a bulk of white friends because that's the community I live in. Anyway, my point is that I was always rejected. Like I would go on these dates, wouldn't hear back, get a call, wouldn't hear back. I don't know, maybe it was my smell. I always tried to smell good. But I would spend extravagantly, open doors, pull out chairs, nice restaurants, not coffee shops, coffee dates. Just didn't attract black women.
Yeah. You can't make this shit up, people. You cannot make this shit up.
What's going on, YouTube? It is your boy Ron back with another video. If you're new to the platform, welcome to the tribe. By the end of this video, I hope you subscribe. So, got a video for you guys I want to react to. A fellow YouTuber, someone that I've met before in Germany. If y'all already know probably who I'm referring to. If you've been watching me long enough, she goes by Soraya Brooks, and I'll make sure I leave the link in the description for this video. Because she did a reaction video of a brother who is currently with a white woman, and he tells his story about how he, for the longest, pursued black women, but they wasn't giving him no play, and then the moment he ended up getting play from another race, guess who mad all of a sudden? Typical story, but I think it's important to hear it from the horse's mouth, as they like to say, because for some reason black women seem to think that this is not a real thing, but this happens to a lot of black men. And if that wasn't the case, then the term pookie picker and so on and so on wouldn't even be a thing. But I'm not even gonna go there. Let's go ahead and jump into the video.
This older gentleman right here is going to talk to us about how he was not able to spark a black woman's attention in his younger days when he was trying to date. He had a six-figure job, he had a car, he had a condo, but there was only one thing that he was missing. One thing that he didn't have that a lot of black women were looking for in their younger days, which was the street look, that swag. He says he wasn't hip-hop enough. But there was one occasion where some black women actually decided that that man is worth taking a closer look at. That moment was when he got married to a white woman. I don't know why that always sparks some women's interest when a black man marries a non-black woman. Why is he a hot topic then? Why is he worth enough to actually be approached then? That is today's topic, everybody, and I hope you are just as excited as I am. I just wanted to say thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you had a great work week so far so you can actually enjoy the weekend. Make sure you do, because you deserved it. And if you're ready, because I'm ready, we should just dive into the video and let's see what this older gentleman has to tell us.
So I have a white wife, right? And I have gotten so much criticism from the black community over years, and I don't care, but I've gotten a lot of criticism from the black community over the years of you're a sellout, you have a white wife. Even Dr. Umar says, don't marry snow bunnies, all right? Told brothers, stay away from snow bunnies. And I've dated all different races. My one before that was Hispanic. She was Hispanic, mixed white and Hispanic. But I've dated all races. But there was a period of time that I was intentionally single, and I used to go on dating apps. And this is the years of eHarmony, Match.com. So I'm an unk, right? There was no Tinder, there was no Plenty of Fish. There was no all these different apps y'all got to hook up on, right? There was the major ones, eHarmony and Match.com. And I went on there with an intention of looking for a black wife or a black woman, girlfriend, not a wife. I was single. On a date, I had my own bachelor pad, had a condo, beautiful condo, and so I was an attraction. I had a whip, I had a 6-figure job, I had all the trimmings that black women say they want.
So this guy is not getting into how old he was back in the day when he was choosing to be single and just dating to see what's available on the dating market. But it seems to me like women, even in their early, even mid-20s back in the day, were just looking for the wrong type of man. And it seems to me like women don't like a man when he is too clean cut. It's like they do want a man to take care of them, but they don't really want a man who's taking care of himself, because he's going to get into the things that he was missing, why he wasn't able to date a black woman, even though he had everything as far as the material things. He had money he was trying to provide. And I'm sure if he would have met the right woman back then, he would have been able to afford everything that she wanted to have. But he wasn't street enough. He wasn't hood enough. He was not swag enough, which is really making a lot of women miss good men, because these men are just too good. How they say too good to be true, but then again, too good for them to actually deal with these men. So what happens is these women in their mid-20s, they're going to go ahead, waste their youth, waste their time with men who are up to no good, end up with a couple of babies from different baby daddies. And as they're getting older, they're going to realize that it's time for them to actually find a man who's willing to take care of them and their children. But most of the time, those men that they didn't want back in the days now end up with women who do not look like them.
Only problem is I wasn't hip hop. I wasn't, I didn't have that swag. I was a working man. All right. I had a white collar job, so to speak. And I had a bulk of white friends because that's the community I live in. Anyway, my point is that I was always rejected. Like, I would go on these dates, wouldn't hear back, get a call, wouldn't hear back. I don't know, maybe it was my smell. I always tried to smell good. But I would spend extravagantly, open doors, pull out chairs, nice restaurants, not coffee shops, coffee dates. Just didn't attract black women.
Guys, doesn't this sound familiar?
Very familiar. And that's usually just about every black man's, I'm not going to say villain arc, but we'll say love arc, for the sake of the conversation, as far as how they end up dating outside of their race. We always go for black women for the most part first. Most of the time, most men that are dating outside, black men that are dating outside their race. There is that rare exception, that black women like to harp on, but they only harp on that because that's the only argument that they have. But deep down, they know that's not the case. I'm like, why do you think passport bros is a thing? Because supposedly those are the black men that the black women don't want either. So I'm like, what are you gonna do? And then here's the bad part about it. Our women are trying to raise their standard and wait at the finish line. Meanwhile, this is coming from a black guy who had everything women want when you waiting at the finish line, and y'all still didn't choose. So you can't sit over here and just point the finger at black men.
I'm not going to say this is only black women doing this. A lot of modern women are doing this. There are several videos on TikTok and other social media platforms going viral of delusional as women talking about that they don't want to be taken here, they don't want to be taken there. I mean, this is not a coincidence. And you know why women nowadays are thinking like this? Because whatever their mothers, their cousins, their aunties was talking about back in the days when today's women were little, is what they have adapted onto their mind. That is like their mindset. And I'm gonna give you an example. This is kind of off topic. My mom never liked the combination of scrambled eggs and tomatoes. She was always complaining about it, how much she doesn't like it, how much she could not eat this. It was disgusting to her. That is the same type of thing that I have adapted. I'm over it now, but it took me a while to actually eat the combination tomatoes and eggs, just because of the simple fact that my mom was complaining, nagging, and talking about it all the time, like how disgusted she was by it. And I'm saying this because I want to give you this example. If you have a young woman who's growing up in a household, single mother household, female friends are coming over, aunties are there, get-togethers, barbecues, cookouts, whatever, and she's constantly complaining about one specific type of man, what is that young girl going to grow up to? Oh, we want a boyfriend. I want to have a man that's hood, that's bad, that's this, that's that. How about actually women teaching their young daughters, get a man who's educated, get a man who is probably overlooked by your friends in school because they all want to have this bad guy who's probably going to end up impregnating young women and just be irresponsible as hell. But do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, what? Because these kids are watching us. They're watching us. They're gonna do what we do. They're gonna think how we think.
And Soraya is 100% correct. And I can reference as recently as the video from the other day in the Kendra G compilation that I reacted to. And shout out to the Do Better podcast again, by the way, showing love in the comments. Appreciate you, brother. Uh, because I don't know if y'all remember the one video, the one clip where the woman was like, "Yeah, the mother in the background, yeah, she got 4 or 5 baby daddies just like me, or 4 or 5 kids just like me," or it was something to that effect. And I was just over here like, you have got to be kidding me. Because if I had to take an educated guess, mothers like that are the type of women that tell their daughters to have your fun when you young and then settle down later in life. And a lot of men are realizing this is not a good deal for them because, like Soraya said, a lot of y'all end up having children and shit by the end, and y'all done built up this hatred for men because you've been jumping from one man to the next, having your fun, but while having your fun, you've been catching feelings too. Because when it comes to just having your fun, most women cannot operate like men in that manner. And if your feelings is hurt off of me saying that, then you proving my point even more. Because if most women could operate like that, then we wouldn't have so many women online, so many women on podcasts, coming on other men's podcasts, arguing about fucking relationships. Because if all y'all wanted to do was just hump around, there would be no need to be talking about relationships on podcasts then. So I don't want to hear that shit.
Black women. But soon as I get my mate, who I've been with for over 15 years now, and we get along swimmingly, have 3 lovely daughters, you tell them, your wife white? You go, yeah, go, I thought so. I get all kinds of attitude from black women, and then of course brothers who follow Dr. Umar be like, oh, he got a snow bunny. This is why he is the way he is. Well, I was the way I am prior to meeting my current wife. But this is the attitude that you hear.
I don't date American black men. I have never dated an American black man. And
I think black men are all alike.
I genuinely want to know why black men make dating so difficult.
I just feel like being with a black man, we have to go through so many loopholes to get.
I am so effing tired of the amount of emotional labor that comes with dating black men.
But I was the problem. Make it make sense.
Exactly. You really cannot make this up. I mean, I believe this guy. I don't think that he's just getting on the internet telling us a story that he knows we really want to hear, because I know plenty of men have experienced this. My husband is one of them. Or he was never cool enough. He was always, a nerd because he was wearing glasses when he was younger. He's still wearing his glasses because these girls who were hot back in the day, they didn't want my husband. My husband was one of the most handsome guys in the whole freaking city, town, whatever you want to call it. But what had happened to him happens to a lot of men. And I know there are some of you in the comment section right now who said that happened to me too. I was done with some black women. I was done trying. I was done being rejected. The rejection part is so real. And I'm not trying to be on YouTube sounding a certain way, but this is something I hear a lot. Like I said, not only black women are doing this, a lot of women are rejecting good men, and now they are looking for men who will take them on a date when those men are not interested in them anymore because they're now and there and hit the wall.
Danger zone!
Listen to who's coming.
Winter is coming. See that? Winter is coming.
Like, I genuinely believe, bro, if black women didn't champion the Pookie so much, I truly believe eventually down the line we would have weeded them out, and then not only would the black community thrive, but you would hear less black women complaining about, oh, I can't find a good man. The reason why a lot of y'all can't find what y'all looking for is because you're not looking for that type of man, at least not in your youth anyway, because y'all have pretty much, and I'll be the first to admit, I've heard women in my family tell other women in my family to approach life this way. Have your fun in your 20s, get your career started, get a job and all that and stuff, which is cool. You got to be able to take care of yourself, man. That's the United States. But at the same time, it's like when you don't prioritize the type of man that y'all claim that y'all want in your youth and you wait till you get older, like I said before, that's generally like when y'all are just not as impressionable anymore, or y'all done had kids, y'all done built up this trauma and just this hate towards men, because now all of a sudden, like those clips he was just playing, y'all think all black men are like that. It's like, no, those are just the type of black men that you like. You feel me? Those are the type of men that you've been choosing.
The black people that voted for Trump need to be drafted first, along with the black men who have children with and marry outside of their race. They should go first.
Really?
Hold on. So y'all telling me that this is okay, but when we do this, it's self-issues and we hate ourselves. Fuck out of here with that shit.
The bathroom, I vacuumed everything, by the way. Vacuum the floor, it was disgusting. It took like 3 times to vacuum the floors.
Alright, why she trying to spook me? But no.
And then I folded all your stuff. I don't know.
She even folded the underwear.
I don't know where this goes, but here's your sweats, the PJs, this is t-shirts, some socks, all shorts, more pants, all hoodies, and then you have shoes and then
Red shit. Oh, bro. Bathroom, the flowers. Shit.
Get attention from men. All of you will get pursued. All of you have been asked out. We are the pursuers. We're the initiators of asking and pursuing. So when you're the guy that keeps getting declined, or they're not even checking for you, I literally went to a wedding 2 years ago of a guy whose father won the lottery. Nobody knows about it. But because he's not the most handsome, charismatic, good looking, fit dude, he only wanted to date black women, and none of them wanted him for his entire 20s.
Wow.
He ends up with a white woman, and everybody's now saying, see, that's all you wanted. And I'm gonna land. So the first issue is you got to acknowledge that not all, but many of the men, it's not even that they have to come from a place of being jaded and hating black women. They just go where they're accepted. Number two, the standards. When Dr. Umar is saying that a lot of our women, because of trauma, because of their mothers or grandmothers talking about what they went through, and now you got to make your own money, and the guy got to make this and make sure that you this or that. Although that's coming from a place of love, that's also coming from a place of survivability and risk factors. And there's pros and cons to that. When I was growing up, and even now, when you go to a Chinese food store and you go in there to order your shrimp egg roll and whatever, who's at the counter and who's in the back cooking?
They're all related.
They're all related. Mm-hmm. The men and the women working. How many people, not y'all in particular, but how many of our women are talking about he's not a real man unless he can afford blah, blah, blah. Unless he's making X amount. So while they're building together, your man has to come like a finished product. Hispanic community. If a lot of the men are doing construction work, working in the fields, working and doing labor jobs,
baddie at home.
Are there women stereotypically also working cleaning units.
Yes. She working in food trucks.
Cleaning food, doing food trucks. So hold on. So she working. The Asian woman working. The Hispanic woman working. And they working with their men.
With their men.
And the Indian woman. Thank you. Come again. They're working too.
Either
For
directly
their men.
for their men or with their men. And there's a segment, not all of our women, but a lot of us are saying our men need to be here. And then when you all get degrees and y'all start making y'all money, do y'all standards go up or down? Hold on.
As the saying goes, go where you're appreciated, not tolerated. And like he said, go where you're accepted. Shout out to Jeff James. That boy been on like every podcast imaginable. I'll tell you what, man. Happy to see that brother blow up. We need more brothers like him in this space. And he had a very similar story. And this man came up on millions through the lottery. Ain't that wild? I'm like, this is how a lot of black men who end up coming up or end up becoming successful. This is typically what happens. And this is why you see so many black women get upset when they see black successful men or financially secure men end up with women outside of their race. Because the reality is that y'all want to be able to wait at the finish line and get these men, but y'all want to do y'all thing before y'all wait at the finish line. So while that man had to build himself up, you was just doing your thing. But I'm gonna take a cue from Chantel at this point. At this point, it's pretty much just confirming that everything that we say in this space is true. I'm about to sit over here and waste my time going back and forth with women about this, because reality is this is how black women choose. And like Soraya said, other races of women are doing the same thing. It's just for some reason it's championed the most to deal with these type of men and pick these type of men first when it comes to the black community. But anyway, let me know what you thought about this. If you're new to the platform, please subscribe. OGs, I appreciate the love and support. Make sure y'all hit that bell notification. That way I know when I'm uploading. Hit the like button because it helps with the algorithm and helps me reach a broader audience. Also, look out for the travel vlog channel as well as the live show channel. Both links are in the description. Until the next video, y'all. Deuces.